All right, awesome. Welcome to the very first stream on my channel. My name is Jeremy. I am the creator of They Came from the Gordinaak, Tales of and I had the YouTube video up in the background, so I got some feedback. But I am the creator of They Came from the Gordinaak, Tales of Extreme Mechanized Horror. And this is the first online session of They Came from the Gordinaak. You can find me on Facebook at Games from the Gordinaak and Instagram at Gordinaak Games. I have 3 players here today, and we are going to see what the system can do. I'm going to try to highlight all of the basic mechanics that go into the game. If you guys want to introduce yourselves and your characters, then we'll get started.
All right. My name is Flumble, a Satiri hacker. I basically, from sick of all the mafia running everything in this city, and so I just decided to. Well, I guess we don't know how we joined Fox Force 5. We'll have to flesh that out later. But basically, I also run a small stealth mech. And my appearance, I got 4 arms, kind of a lizardy head. There's a little pouch of tools at my side, as well as a couple of pistols. And that's really about it.
I'm gonna be running Drax, the Guri giant killer. The name comes from the kind of what the species looks like. Just imagine from the movie. Kind of pride myself on my ability to destroy these mechs without using them myself. And I imagine I have become part of this group because of my ferocity.
And I am playing Nambe, who is a Deseti chameleon, and mostly works in like stealth, long range sniper kind of character. He's maybe like 5 foot. I'm thinking like brown skin, like different shades of brown, darker, like in a stripe down the back, and then it kind of lightens as it goes around the body. But I'm not entirely sure how the subrace of Deseti work, like the chameleons. So that's kind of all I've really got there. You can refer to my picture for what a Deseti would look like. They can stand up on their back legs, but it's kind of awkward for them. They don't normally do that kind of thing unless they need to look somebody or something in the eyes.
Awesome. So we got Fox Force 5 with 3 members here. You guys are out on a scrapping mission in the city of Owaza. You are in one of the ancient parts of town. The night is an average night. The moons hang high in the sky, illuminating the skeletons of ancient buildings surrounding you. The wind whips sand through the streets, and the only sound that you hear besides that is your clan members around you. About a block away, in front of you, stands a very large ancient building, and according to your boss, Samson, there must be a power core inside there. So I'll turn it over to you guys. And also, just so you know, you do have a MADS transport with you and a driver. You guys can name him if you want. And basically what it is it looks like a semi-truck with your MADS on it.
So this man's name is Bubba?
Yes, Bubba the driver.
Oh.
By the way, my name is Jork. I actually had not written my name down, so I just came up with something on the fly. But his name's Jork because it
Jork.
matters.
So
So we got Bubba, Jork, Mambe,
Yeah, Nambay. Nambay.
Nambe, my bad, and then Drax. All right, guys. Like I said, average night. Getting away from the heat of the day. The moons are in the sky. It's enough to see pretty well. Both moons are full. So
What is the ancient part of town like? Is this like, is there a large there are a lot of people live here? Is there a lot of
No.
foot traffic?
no one lives here at all. This is it's pretty dangerous. There's not most people don't even come here.
Okay.
And the buildings are like from an Earth perspective, it'd be like in New York or Chicago. Most of the windows are busted out of the buildings. Um, some of the remnants of the windows are still there. Maybe a window here, a window there, but literally these are just shells of buildings. Just as like if you want to know some more tactical type information, there are. Let's see. You are on a street. At the end, there are 3 buildings on the right side of the street. There are 3 buildings on the left side of the street, and then directly at the end of that block, there is a very, very large building.
Okay, and that should be the ancient ruins that Samson told us to check out.
Exactly.
Well, gang, we're gonna assume, have we worked together before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we would all know each other and stuff if we're in the same clan.
And maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we've vague. Yeah.
You guys are probably new-ish members, but this isn't the first mission you've been on.
But maybe the first one without a more experienced person.
Probably.
Fair. Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Bubba's probably the most. He's probably the older member of the clan, but he's old. I'm imagining like the janitor from Futurama.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to ask Bubba. So, what exactly you know about? I mean, somebody has to live here. Obviously, it's free housing, right?
No, mostly the only people who live around here are muties.
Muties, eh? What would I know about muties?
You would know that they are corrupted by the Gordinaak or other like radiation sources. They don't resemble any of the sapient species anymore. Like there might be a vague look of a Deseti or maybe a vague look of a Guri or human or whatnot, but they are far beyond repair.
Okay. Now, would they possess any technology that would be valuable to us? Being part Gordinaak, is there? I'm saying, do you guys want to just go straight into the temple, or do you think there's any value in checking out the perimeter first and seeing what else is going on?
I mean, I'm fine with checking extra buildings to see if there's something for it or something in it for us.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, like I said, you guys are at the end of the street. There are 3 buildings on either side of this street, and it seems like it kind of is the same thing going on in both directions, or in all directions, basically. Like if you turn back around, there's the same like boulevard. It's not disorganized. There's not like a bunch of array of building. The streets are pretty straight and the alleys are pretty straight. So there's a pretty good grid going on here.
Just how many stories are these buildings?
at a quick glance, it looks like most of them are well over 30 stories.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Is that
goodness.
common for buildings in the? And I'm sorry, give me the name of the city again.
Owazo?
Owazo. Okay. And is that common for Owazo architecture, or is this like a pre? Is this? You said it's the ancient sector, so is this like more indicative of a civilization that lived here prior to the current?
It is so the city is so large. It is like in the 100-mile range of diameter. That each of the districts has almost its own architecture style. Now there are plenty of skyscrapers, but there are also tons of low rises too. So like for instance, the Desetti, their neighborhoods are generally on the far outside of the city, almost more in the desert, and they are made out of dirt and mud and stuff like that, almost like burrows and stuff. But you might find a human settlement, or not a settlement, but the human districts to be high rises and things like that. And a lot of the newer construction is not near as organized as this. This is like you can imagine this to be like a grand area of town. Like if you were to like picture what it used to look like, it would have been a really really what is it, infrastructure wise would have been a lot more advanced than what you guys are used to.
Okay. All right, so let's see. So if there's a power core around, who knows what else is in these other buildings? We can see what else we can scavenge on the way.
Yeah, man.
So now the MADS transport, is that able to hold our mechs inside, or where are our mechs?
All right, so the MADS transport, you can literally, it's almost like a docking station. So you can see the MADs, they're on the outside of it, and there's like different hoses and wires and stuff like that hooked up into the MADs. And a lot of people even use these as like shows of force. Like they won't even necessarily get in their MADs. They'll drive through town with these with this semi truck showing off their MADs.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So we're just flexing. All right. So first building on the left.
Let's do it.
Fair enough. All right.
Definitely. So as you guys make your way over to this building, the door is like one of those carousel doors, but all the glass is broken out, so it's not like you need to try to like open it or unlock it or rotate it or anything. You can step right through.
Okay. How do we want the marching order? Do we want to go with
Oh, I'm going in first, unless somebody's trying to sneak in.
Okay. All right, yeah. We'll put beef in front. Do you want to help him sniff stuff out? Nambe?
No, I'm going last.
Dope.
All right.
I'll be in the middle.
Despite the ability of despite the door being mostly broken already, and the being able to just walk through, I'm just gonna try to kick it in even more and create a larger hole for myself to walk through.
Definitely roll break.
So I just roll D6 and roll under my break.
Exactly.
So I rolled a 5, which is not under.
So the ancient construction seems to be a little tougher than what you expected, and I imagine that Drax probably doesn't expect to not break anything ever. So you're very very surprised.
I kind of look at it for a second, shrug it off, walk in, and say knock knock, like that was my intention the entire time.
And Bubba said, you hear from behind you at the truck, but you hear Bubba go, "Be careful."
So As they're entering, I would actually like to try to stay outside, but like without the others really noticing.
Yeah. So if they're in front of you, and they're not paying attention, but if you want to try to roll stealth, uh, to see
It's
if
up
you
to you. I mean, do I need to?
I mean, I'm not going to actively watch you come in behind me.
No, and if you don't want to come in, you don't want to come in.
Yeah, so I think that's fine. It's not we don't need a
Okay.
roll there.
So, Nambe is going to stay outside, and I would like to begin scouting the building at the end. I'm guessing because I have a sniper rifle that it has some sort of an optic on it.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely you have no problem scoping from where you're at.
Cool. I'm just gonna kind of like, try and check it out to the best of my ability while still staying in front of this building.
All right, so hold that thought for just a second. Let's handle Jork and not and Drax right now. So for actually just really quick, what is Nambe's position in comparison to the truck?
In comparison to the truck,
Yeah, the truck
I'm
is
not
facing. The truck is facing is the building that you'd be scoping, right? It's in the middle of the street, between the two buildings, and the left one is the one that they're going in.
So I would be like to the left, kind of posted up. If you're looking at the door to their building, I'd be to the right of the door, but left of the truck. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly what you're saying. All right, so you're sitting there scoping. Jork and Drax make their way into this desolate building. You all see, and again, a lot of this has to be described from the perspective of somebody from Earth. But you see the remnants of a welcoming desk. And down the hall, there are some elevators, and it looks like there's doors at the end of that hall as well. So the elevators are on the left side of the hall, and the doors are on the far end of that hall.
Does it look to me like there is any power in this building? If I go check, like, can I follow conduits and see if...
It doesn't. There's no lights or anything like that on, if that's what you mean.
Okay. All right. So there's we know there's elevators, but there's no power. So do we see a stairway?
And real quick, just sorry to take us out of it, but did you make sure that you wrote down the drone rules? You have your drone and everything like that.
Oh shit! No, I forgot about all the drone crap. Hold on.
Yeah, that's. It's I believe offhand, without looking at the rules, at level 1, your drone is a surveillance drone, as well as has the ability to land on a MADS and force a save versus overload, and make them inoperable for 1 turn.
Yeah, isn't it like if it touches it, then they have to roll? Because
Exactly.
I looked at them, but I've only seen them the once.
Yeah, they have to make a save versus overload, or become inoperable for 1 turn, and you can use that once. Basically, prolonged rest, right? But it's, I think, 5 minutes the drone can be active before having to be charged for.
Okay. And can that? Is there a charging pad for it on the transport?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I will probably say, Drax, let's go ahead and scout this in a way that hopefully will keep our asses safe.
Yeah, it's fine.
I will operate my drone. I guess I have probably holding a pad right now.
And the other thing that is fun about the drones is their direct interface, just like the MADS. So while operating the drone, you have like a heads-up display inside of your mind, right? So, it really is depending on what kind of flavor you want for how you monitor.
I was thinking maybe like a oh shit, the power level sensors from Dragon Ball Z, and I'll just put one of those on my one eye.
Like the
Dope.
scouters.
So like, yeah, a scanner, yeah, and then I'll have like maybe a visual that comes through that. So if I want to close my left eye and keep my right eye open, I can see what look at the picture, but if I have both eyes, I can kind of look through it and see what's in front of me. If that's fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm thinking the door at the end of the hall might be a stairway. I'm gonna go make sure that's open so he can get his drone through and check the upper levels, and I'll kind of hang out on the first floor and make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
Absolutely. So, you make your way to the end of the hallway, no problem. And are you just gonna what are you gonna do to check the door?
Beefcake opens door.
Yeah. So you turn the handle, it opens, no problem. It's not locked, and you're exactly right. This is a stairwell. It is definitely like one of those emergency stairwells. It's concrete. There's nothing pretty about what you guys are looking at. There's debris and things like that. And let's go back to Nambe real quick. So Nambe has been scoping the entrance to the building at the end of the
block.
At the end of the block, and for a slight moment, it looks like you see a shadow inside of the building.
Okay, so I do see something.
You do see something moving.
Whenever I see something, I'm actually going to go over to the truck, and Nambe says to Bubba, "Do you mind if I get on top so I can see better?"
I mean, I work for you, man.
And he just starts climbing up, like on top of the truck's cab or whatever.
Yeah, so
I don't know if I need to roll, but
no. So the climb skill it only applies to a sheer wall with no visible handholds.
okay, I did read that, but I didn't know how it would like work in other situations.
So just like a quick, and for the viewers, I think we got 3 guys watching. It is we're gonna in this system and most OSRs we're gonna try to avoid rolls for the most part. We're only gonna roll whenever it's absolutely necessary. So for like climbing on like top of a truck, no, you can do that. Like a person could do that easily, right? But if you want to climb up the edge of one of these buildings or something like that, we're gonna roll for it.
Okay, that's cool actually. I like avoiding dice if possible. Okay, so Nambe he slings his rifle real quick and in one fluid motion just begins kind of like, clawing his way up to the top. And then he sets like the bipod down on the end of his rifle so that he can use 3 of his limbs to steady himself, and he can just use his right arm, to like begin scoping further, trying to kind of follow that shadow thingy. And if he wouldn't be able to see anything else there, I would think that he would actually like start looking upwards as far as he can, even though it would be limited because of his angle, but like just checking all the windows, shit like that.
So
because
whenever
he gets a very distinct chill whenever he sees this shadow.
So whenever you start looking up, you start to realize that that building is huge, but it's only 1 story, right? It's tall, but it doesn't look like there's more than one. And
like actual floor.
Exactly. And as you're looking at it now, do you guys know like how the doors at the mall are, where they allow for like cars to drive in? Like that's the door that you're looking at, and you saw the shadow. It's one of those. Like it's small, but it also is big, if that makes sense.
It could be big if need be.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And Nambe's just kind of cursing to himself under his breath, in his whatever Dissetti native curses are about already having seen something inside. Because he's not real keen on the whole going into a building and being trapped with some strange dark figure.
Awesome. So let's flash back to Drax and Jork. You open the door. You see this staircase that is completely cement. What do you guys do at this point?
If it's okay, Drax, I'm actually going to go ahead and send the, which I think was the plan, to go ahead and send the drone up the shaft.
So what does Jork's drone look like?
It's kind of a hoverpod, lightweight. It has let's see, 4 libs on the bottom for landing and crawling if it needs to. It has a single eye on one side that feeds into the scanner that I have. Otherwise, it has basically just has a retractable overload, shock, little shock arm that comes out.
Absolutely. I was describing them the other day, and they're like evil R2D2s.
Yeah. Yes, something like that. Correct.
So you're gonna send the drone up the stairwell?
Yeah, it's basically going to it's going to kind of angle up as it goes up to, try to, if it sees any motion, I'm going to have it halt and come back. I'm also going to keep on the eye out for any kind of technical items I've never seen before, or any, valuable scrap, of course.
So the drone makes it up to the first landing, and then the second landing, and it sees the first door. This door, it seems to have it's not on the hinges. It's more broken off. And on the audio feed from the drone, you hear.
Okay, I bring him back down. I let Drax know. Well, we have some company up there. It was kind of just a inaudible moan, so I would guess maybe a mutant, like Bubba was telling us about.
Gross.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, definitely not as attractive as I am. And by the way, I'm a charisma 8. I'm not very good looking. I'm very gaunt and thin. I have no chin. I have just a long neck that kind of feeds into a flat nose and buggy eyes. So it's up to you. Do we want to? Is this worth taking care of? By the way, where'd the Cavillion go? We lost Nambe. I don't know if we need his help.
I'm sure he doesn't enjoy fighting in small spaces. We can let him know what the plan is, though.
Okay.
Also,
yeah,
just to let you guys know, it because there's modern tech, it's assumed that you guys have comm links.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to tell you guys at the beginning of the game, comm links are common, like radio.
No, you're good, dude.
Yeah, it's fine.
Cool.
Okay, well, I will send. Yeah, that's fine. So I will send a message to Nambe, and I'll ask him. Hey, we got some life of some kind. It looks like should be the 3rd floor from what you're looking at outside. Is that correct? Jeremy?
It's the second floor. There's a
Oh,
landing
it's-
between floors.
Okay. Oh, all right. There was a landing between. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it should be about on the what looks like the second floor of the outside. If you could give us some eyes from out there, I don't know. If you have
And just as you're sending or just as you're communicating that message to Nambe, Nambe, can you give me a wisdom roll, please?
Yeah, for sure.
And tell me the margin in which you succeed or fail.
Okay, so wisdom, I roll a d20 and I'm trying to roll under my wisdom.
Absolutely.
Okay, I rolled a 19, which is 11 over my wisdom.
So, you don't notice anything at all.
You mean like I don't notice the calm come in, or I don't notice anything from
no, you heard the calm,
where I am?
but you don't notice something very obvious that probably you should. You're too focused on that building. And,
Okay. So, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So without like even looking at the building that they're in, Nambe, he just like clicks his little calm on his shoulder, you know, and he hisses into it. He's like, yes, everything's fine from here. And then he just puts his like face back down to his scope, and he's still trying to like look at the building in front of him.
But what you do hear is Bubba. No, oh god, no, shit, fuck.
his hemorrhoids are acting up again.
Bubba.
So I'm gonna go over, like he scurries over to the driver's side, and he like looks his head down, like off the roof down at Bubba, and he goes, "What is commotion?"
So when you look, so Bubba was actually standing next to the driver's side, probably having a smoke or something like that.
Sure.
And whenever you poke your head over the side, you see four figures. Again, kind of resembling some of the species in this city, but also not at all. One is completely covered in what you assume to be eyes or pustules or something like that, and has a tentacle for an arm. Another one has just a gaping hole in its face, what you assume to be its mouth. And the other two are kind of the same thing going on, and they almost seem to be dripping like pus and goo, and they have some remnants of the clothes that they used to wear. And Bubba is at this point being mobbed by the four of these guys. And the first thing you see is this tentacle reach out and kind of wrap around Bubba's neck, and he starts to choke. And as they're attacking, like you can see that he's like trying to vomit, and you don't know exactly why, but you can see that he's gagging as he's being choked.
I'm gonna shoot that one.
All right, so roll your attack.
Okay, so Nambe, he's like, shit, and then goes over and he grabs his rifle.
And you're using your sniper, right?
Yeah.
All right,
I rolled a 17.
This is a short. This is in short range, right?
Okay.
So it's a -4 to your roll.
Okay.
Because it's a sniper rifle.
Okay, so my attack bonus is a +2, so I'm netting a -2.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so my final, like my net is a 15 total.
Yep, that hits.
Sweet. So 2d6 + 1. I did 9 damage.
So describe how it destroys this thing.
Oh, sweet, it destroys it. So Nambe goes over and he like sees what's happening, and he scurries over to his rifle real quick, and then he goes back, and he's so close that it's almost like a point blank shot. So he just takes like he kind of arches his back as he puts his rifle in both of his hands, and he shoots the thing like at the base of where the tentacle was. I'm gonna say it was coming out of almost like its left chest area, and it just blows a giant hole through it, and the thing like makes this weird screaming sound and falls on the ground.
And as it relinquishes Bubba, it Bubba just falls to his knees and starts vomiting on the ground. And it's like you look at the vomit and it's like this black bile. And the shot that you made rings through, like you can hear the echoes off of all the buildings. It was extremely loud. And Jork and Jax, you definitely heard this shot. So right now, I want everybody. So here's the way that initiative is going to work. You you can elect. I'll let this be the way that we do it. So everybody roll a d6, right? And whoever has the highest one, that's what we'll take. And then I'm going to roll a d6 for my whole team. And whoever gets the higher initiative goes first. And we'll do this every round.
And we're
I rolled
rolling
a 5.
Rolling a what now? I'm sorry.
D6.
One more time.
A D6.
D flat D6. Okay. I got a 5.
6.
All right, so all of your numbers beat mine. So you guys have initiative, and it kind of works like simultaneously, but you guys have the initiative, so it's up to you. You guys take your turn however you want.
Well, I'm right here, so I'm just gonna shoot again.
Absolutely. At -4, it is short range for sure for that sniper rifle.
Right. Oh no. Okay, that one didn't work. I rolled a 2.
So you're not able to, like, because of the scope, you're not able to scope this so close, and you just see it kind of right, like after you take the shot, it comes into your scope, right into your face almost. All right, so
I think you rolled
it'll
higher
take
than
you
me.
guys.
After
You guys are now. We use relative distance for combat, right? So it is now.
It was what, like close, nearby, far,
And
or
distant.
something like that.
Yeah. So
It's like within 10 feet, within 60 feet.
Ooh, you're a boss. You're a boss. Thank you for that. Yeah, but you guys are long distance away.
Oh, really?
So you all hear the second shot, and then just over your comm, you hear Nambe, and he's like, "Shit, I need you all out here now."
yeah, I think after the first shot, I would have started to leave this building.
All right, so we'll let it. If you would have acted after that first shot, we'll say that that you are in nearby range.
All right. Once exiting the building, as I would have drawn my great sword and started sprinting at the mutated, disgusting things.
That's what I was going to ask too. Was what because you know the weapons, the way that I have the weapons, it's not specific as to what kind of weapon you're using. So you're using a big two-handed sword.
Yeah, think of like Cloud's sword.
Dope.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So there's 3 of these guys surrounding Bubba and turning their attention to your Desetti friend, and you're gonna make an attack against one of them.
Yeah. If I can get there.
Yeah, you can move and attack in the same round.
Okay.
Because of because you reacted to the shot before.
I think I'm just gonna go for whatever's closest to the truck and Bubba. Still try to kind of get some sort of barrier between myself or the enemies and my allies.
Definitely.
$15.
That hits.
And that'll be, holy crap, 15 damage.
Yeah, you definitely fucked that guy up. So like what like how does this go down?
So with the momentum of my sprinting into the fight, I just kind of raise the sword high up over my head and just this giant overhead smashing swing, just cleave this pile of pus into multiple pieces.
Of pus.
That's all they are anymore.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's just more
All right.
pus now.
You guys are making short work of this small crowd of muties. And then we have Jork. What is Jork?
All right,
doing in this
Jork.
instance?
Jork is I'm gonna be following Drax outside, making sure to have my drone follow me since there's a baddie up there. I don't know if that's going to cost me an extra turn. So as soon as I am going to try to make a long range attack with the pistols, taking the minus once I see them because they're pretty scary.
Definitely.
So I don't know if that is on this turn or.
So I think that it would be okay, especially with knowing how technology is, to have your drone programmed to kind of follow you like that, right?
Okay.
Without any issue.
Right.
So you can go ahead and move and attack in this
Okay.
round.
All right. I move and I've got a comm in one hand. I've got some kind of controller in another hand, and my other two hands are holding out pistols as I come out the door. And so I'm taking, let's see, I can hit a 15 minus 2 is a 13, and then a 10 minus 2 is an 8.
So the first shot hits, the second one does not.
1 damage.
1 damage. So you watch as this thing kind of it reacts a little bit, but it starts to move back towards Bubba on the ground, where actually it turns its attention to Drax, and it is going to try to use one of its arms, if that's what you can call it, to attack, and it's the arm comes out like it stretches out, like it doesn't. It's unnatural looking what it's doing, and it does not hit. The next one is going to try to attack Drax as well, and 18 is your AC, right?
Yes.
So this one hits. Can I get you to make a save versus reflex, please?
Where is? Okay, there's my reflex.
And you are the perfect person to force this save on because you have the lowest reflex save out of everyone.
I rolled a 13. My reflex is 15.
Yeah. So this arm, the second one that attacks, this arm reaches out and it goes around your neck, right? And you take 3 damage.
So the shield will soak that?
Yeah. But it still has you grappled.
Okay. Rolling under reflex is a fail?
It is. So, like I said, that's the only thing that gets a little bit confusing about these OSR systems is
reflexes are over, and then skills are under, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So high saves is bad, basically.
Yeah. Because if you look at the chart, they go down.
I was about to say, if you look at the leveling chart, when I was looking at it yesterday, I was like, why would you want your numbers to go down?
Yeah. Yeah, mine makes sense. I have a great body save and a terrible mind save.
So this arm turns basically to a tentacle and wraps around Drax's neck. The shield's able to kind of soak up some of this damage, but it still has Drax around the neck.
All right, so do we roll initiative again? Because you said
Yes,
one of the
we can.
monsters missed, and we've killed 2 of them.
Yep.
So
Initiative round
I rolled
base.
a 6.
Do you have
3.
a dexterity mod?
I don't know. Give me just a second. Yeah, I have a +1.
All right, so you guys just barely beat my initiative. I also rolled a 6.
Oh,
But
but so I technically got a 7 because of my dex.
yeah, just because there was a tie, we have to figure out some kind of way or re-roll,
So
right? So we'll just use
6.1.
Oh, okay.
we'll just use your
Okay,
dex
that
mod.
makes sense.
And see, that's one of the awesome things about these kind of systems, these OSRs, is that um, we could do anything, right? We could figure out any kind of way to, like, I just decided in that moment to use the dex to break that tie, right?
And that makes sense.
So
And you could use whatever like you needed according to the like if you had a psychic like two psychics fighting, you might not use dex, you know?
yeah, maybe you could use intelligence or something like that. Absolutely. So you guys have the initiative. Drax has a arm around his neck.
Has this arm stretched far enough to where my giant sword being swung will not hit the body of the thing it's attached to?
Um, you could still. It's not holding you strong enough to where you can't like move towards it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That's what you're asking.
I'm just gonna kind of power my way into it and swing my sword horizontally at it.
Definitely roll your attack.
That's a whopping 3. I mean 6.
Yeah, so that does not hit. And then
So Nambe seeing Drax trying to like walk towards this thing and then he basically like hits it with the pommel of his sword. Nambe slings he like throws his rifle because he has a sling. So he throws his rifle over his back and he's gonna draw his pistol and try and fire. I don't know if I can do all that at once, but
so if as long as the weapon is like accessible in a holster or whatever, you can do it, but you're not gonna get your +4 bonus to short range combat.
okay, cool.
So you're just a 0 on the range chart. So whatever your attack bonus is that's the only bonuses that you get.
Okay. I got an 18 total if I don't have any negatives.
Yep, that hits. So also, let's make sure that you don't hit Drax as well.
Okay.
So let's roll a d4, and a 1 and a 2 is Drax, and a 3.
I hit Drax.
So roll damage in half of it.
So okay, so half of 7.
So 4.
Okay. So Nambe thinking he's like gonna be all fucking cool and shit. He stands up, you know, which is once again, as was stated earlier, not necessarily normal for his people, but he stands up and he tosses his rifle over and he like quick draws his pistol out and he just bang, and it just like impacts with Drex's armor, and he like hisses at himself like he's embarrassed, like he like puts his other hand up to his face and stuff.
So if
my 4 damage.
my shield doesn't soak all of it, does it do damage to the armor first, or does it do health damage and not MHP?
You know, honestly, I hadn't worked this out.
I'm not gonna lie, if I may interject, I would think that it would do damage to the armor, but I mean, obviously it's up to you.
Well, the thing is with MHP is it's supposed to be 10 damage or no damage.
Oh, okay. And that's a little OP. Like, if he would just take no damage every single time.
Well, let's say that whenever, and I need to make a note right now. Let's say that whenever combat is involving, let's see. me just a second to think about this, guys. I'm gonna mute and think for a minute and use the bathroom.
That's cool.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah,
dude. Didn't mean to shoot you there.
No, you're good. I would have done the same thing. It's like, fuck it, shoot at the group of people.
Yeah, right. Like,
Maybe I should watch my mouth. I don't know if what kind of recording he's doing.
I didn't even think about it, and I think I've said shit twice and fuck once already.
Yeah, I'll probably curse. I'll try not to, but
Yeah,
I probably will.
I'm military. It's my vocabulary.
Oh yeah. What branch are you in?
I am Air Force, but I am in the side of the Air Force known as the maintainer world, which is
Oh boy. Yeah, all the blue collar guys that fix things.
I mean, we don't ever wear our blue stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Actually, this
That's
October
cool.
we're gonna have the same uniform as the Army.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's nifty.
Now I'm not gonna be able to tell people apart, but
I could just
the new uniform is much more comfortable. So yeah, with the MHP thing, I was kind of thinking that like because it's power armor, only things that can damage a MADS can damage the armor.
Yeah, and I mean it does make sense, like, but I don't know the way his world works, so I don't know if like that's gonna essentially make you unbeatable.
Yeah, there was an armor like this in the game beforehand, and that's honestly one of the reasons. Because I asked him about using the power armor as opposed to a MADS,
Right.
just because I figured it was something that he would enjoy testing.
Now,
Yeah, and I mean I just love the idea of wearing fucking power armor.
so I
Like,
think what we're gonna do is shield damage, no MHP damage, but if your shield gets to a negative amount, um, then your MHP is null.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
okay. So because my shield took damage already. This one would so it can only soak 3.
Mm-hmm.
So because there's one rollover damage, it won't actually hurt me. It's just going to be another damage on the shield.
Yes.
Okay.
So the way it's going to work is if the shield gets overloaded, basically, the MHP is not a thing anymore.
Okay, so the first few hits, basically, I tank for quite free, and then after that, it needs recharge or repair.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. So where are we at in combat? You just shot your friend.
Drax and Nambe have acted, and Jork has not.
After his pistol bullet twangs off my armor, I just kind of like turn and look at him.
So how is the armor doing right now?
The shield's been damaged twice, so I basically what it started at was 4, so I'm down to 2. It'll only soak 2 and then 1, and then the shield will be down.
All right. So what does Jork do? He might have stepped away for a second. So, while we're waiting on him, what do you guys think so far of this combat?
I think it's interesting. I like the idea. I mean, I read in the rules about the tentacles and stuff, but I think the idea of like fighting the mutants is really, really cool because like you can get fucked up real fast.
Well,
You know?
on their initiative, you get to see what they do. Because he's got him around the neck, so.
Sweet. Yeah, I like it. It was definitely like out of the blue. I wasn't expecting it.
So with the skills, like break for example, mine's 3 out of 6. Do I break on a 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and break just it really just applies to the breakable objects. Like if it's not a break, if it's a fucking like 4-foot thick wall, you don't break it ever.
Right.
Like,
Right. Yeah. Realistic things.
But I replaced break with so like a lot of OSR games have a skill called open doors, right?
Hmm.
And I just thought it would be cooler if like open doors instead of open doors, you could do more with it. You know, like
Well, I saw your note in your rules text. The end of the description of break was skulls. Skulls as breakable objects.
Did I put that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, and
That's like,
I noticed that too.
If I get the chance, I'm definitely going to use my hands and try to mountain somebody's skull.
Yeah, right. And then I crush their skull like this.
I tried that twice in Ethan's game on Monday. It didn't
Yeah,
work.
you did.
Though. It didn't work.
Yeah, I made you roll. Like, your DD was gonna be like a 22. You know, in a D18 system, nonetheless.
All right. So Michael, just let us know when you're back.
Yeah, I just came back. Sorry about that.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. So the ruling that we're gonna go with for now, it might change later, is that he can soak uh, all of his damage in the shield, but as soon as his shield goes down, the MHP is done with too. Right now, also, Trent, if somebody say like, how much is your shield right now? 2.
2.
If somebody did 16 damage to you, that would be enough to
Got-
get rid of your MHP as well.
Gotcha. So I'd soak 2, taking 14. 10 would go to the MHP, and then 4 to my life.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Sounds correct to me so far.
All right, all right. So we are on Jork.
Okay, Jork. All right, Jork with his long, lanky legs is going to move about 30 feet away, so he's in short range. Are you still
Grappled? Yeah.
You're still grappled. All right, I just watched the chameleon shoot you. So I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to shoot at the other person there. Is that other one still okay? No, that one attacked you as well. Okay, so it's still in a danger. Okay, so I'm going to shoot that one. So yeah, that's a hit. 22.
Go ahead and roll both your attacks, and then we'll roll damage.
Yeah, I am. 22 and a 15.
Both of those hit.
Okay, and I don't add anything. You don't add the +4 to damage, just to the attack, correct?
No. So if you have a dexterity modifier, that goes to damage, but that's it.
Okay, so I do a total 6 damage. 2 pistol shots.
All right. That one is like on it. You've knocked it down to its like knees. It's like it definitely did a lot of damage. You said 6 damage, right? Total. Yeah.
Oh,
So
they
that one is on his knees, if you could call them knees,
Yeah.
right? And then I have initiative. And then you hear like and everybody roll wisdom and see if you can see where these guys are coming.
Nope. I got just missed by 1.
We want to be under on this.
Yeah.
I rolled a. I need to use
see.
a different D20. I either rolled a 9 or a 6. My wisdom's 10 though, so I got it either way.
All right. So Drax, like, even though you're like grappled right now, you look up and you see another 6 mutants.
But like climbing down the walls of these buildings, or are they just like flying in the sky?
Well, that is fucking way cooler than what I was gonna say. So yes, they are.
They're just pouring out of broken windows and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. They are like jumping down and stuff like that. Some of them you would think they would like take damage, but they kind of splat and then reconfigure themselves. Right.
Holy shit.
So there is currently 8 mutants right now. And Drax, because you are grappled, I would like you to make a save versus body, please.
Got it. My body 13. Rolled a 3.
The hella save.
Hey guys, I'm getting a phone call. Give me just one moment, all right?
I'm gonna use the bathroom then.
I'm gonna get that coffee I just brewed.
I'm gonna hit my something.
Okay,
dog.
you have a point. You too, right? Yeah.
I wish I had coffee. Ugh. Woke up this morning, got myself a beer. Said I woke up this morning and had myself a beer. Fuck.
Sorry about that. That was the Munchkins calling. Just let me know when everybody's back ready again.
I'm here.
All right. Did you pass that save? Or
I did by 1 point.
Oh wait, Ethan, you're good. You don't have to make a save. It's just Trent.
Oh, I thought you were sorry. I thought you were talking about that wisdom check that you had everybody roll.
Oh yeah, you definitely see all of these guys pouring out.
Yeah.
In front of you.
Fucking throwing themselves out of windows. Jeez, man. No wonder nobody comes here. Like, that's horrifying. You know?
Well, and it's like twofold. These mutants live here because this is where they can thrive without any persecution.
Right.
You know, they probably have some sort of culture. They're not quite zombies.
Yeah, because, I mean, they were once, like, just regular sentient beings, right? And they just kind of fall into mutantdom and it gets worse and worse through time.
Exactly.
Or is the ooze like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of got the mental picture of the sewer people from Futurama.
Yeah, definitely, but a little more animalistic. So Trent, did you pass that body save or no?
I did.
Yeah, he killed it.
All right, awesome. So, but it is going to tighten its grip around your neck, dealing 2 damage. So just 1 damage to your shield.
Okay.
So it's I just imagine like your armor is like up around your neck, and it's like getting close to like its breaking point, right? Like where
Okay.
it's gonna start squeezing your neck.
So I'm like starting to feel the pressure through the armor.
Yeah, exactly. And then the next one, having been shot, is going to get back to its feet and do the same kind of thing. It's going to stretch its arm out, try to wrap itself around Jork. Does a 12 hit? I doubt it because I made all the pre-gens and I know your AC is 14. And then the other one is going to stretch its arm up towards Nambe. And a 14 hits you, right?
Ooh, did Name not come back?
No, I'm here. My AC is 15 on my sheet.
Shit. Yeah, no, never mind. So I thought it for some reason I thought it was 14, but so it doesn't it isn't able to get its tentacle arm around your neck, uh, like Drax. But now the 6 of these, actually, they took their action. They are long range right now, so it's going to take them one more turn to get to you. And initiative again. And I got a 3.
I got a 5.
I got a 4.
Excellent. So you guys have initiative. We'll say that we'll just go with Drax first because he is the only one that's actively being attacked right now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do another swing at the one grappling me.
So you have other options too, man. If you want to try to like rip that fucking tentacle off or something like that, we can figure out a role for that too. If you like, just so you know.
That it sounds interesting, but I think in my mindset, I just want to kill the thing, not just become free from the thing.
Absolutely.
So-
You're good.
I'm just like this is the fact that it's like holding me is making me feel like it doesn't want me to move, and that's just making me more and more mad. So
Yeah, I feel you, man. Go ahead.
You wouldn't like him when he's mad.
15.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Lord.
9, 12.
Yeah, that kills it.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
So I'm kind of like recovering from my previous slash. My sword was, swung horizontally, so it's down to my side. I just kind of flip it over to get the edge towards them and do a swing back in the opposite direction.
All right, awesome. So out of the original 4, there's only 1 left, and he is badly hurt. But we do have 6 more approaching. So it's on whoever wants to go, Jork or Nambe.
Can I get my mads?
Yep, it takes 3 turns.
It takes 3 turns.
Yes.
Yeah, so the first turn, you're
Okay.
inside of it, right? It's, but it takes the other 2 turns to get the interface complete.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna start running like towards the building
Towards the building. All right, so
at the end of the road.
So you're gonna have to run through them.
Okay.
So 6 of them are in between you and the building.
I thought they were falling like to our sides.
They're still far enough off, right? If they fell to your sides, they'd be in range. They would have been in range to attack. They're far enough off to where they're not in range to attack yet.
Okay. In that case, I guess I'm gonna shoot whichever one seems like it's closest to like the middle.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So it is with the sniper rifle. It's going to be at mid range, right? So no bonus. Or are you using your pistol?
No, I'm gonna use my rifle again.
Okay. Cool.
Rolled a 19 plus 2, so a 21. And it did 9 damage.
So it blows its fucking brains out.
Sweet. So, you hear the shot go off, and Nambe's like, "We need to get out of here fast."
Okay. I am actually going to hop in the driver's seat of the truck.
And by now, Bubba, you'll notice that he is starting to fucking grow a tentacle.
Yep. I will probably run over Bubba on my way out.
Bubba.
All right. So you're gonna jump in the driver's seat, right?
Yep.
And then,
Load up, guys. We're outnumbered.
Well, I have initiative.
Okay.
At this point, and let's see. They're going to swarm the truck. Drax is the only person who they can attack, and we'll just treat them as a mob, right?
Bring it.
So they are basically surrounded. Drax, Nambe is on top of the truck still, right?
Yep.
All right. Man, you are. All right, not a single one of those hit, right?
So I pulled some like Matrix shit here. Maybe used my sword as a shield and deflected some stuff. And
all right, so
That's cool. Just thinking
So-
all these tentacles coming out, and you're just like ducking out of the way and like slapping them and shit. Like,
and
no.
some of them are even connecting, but the armor is so strong that it doesn't do anything. Like they wrap around and you pull your arm and it rips a tentacle off, but then the tentacle grows back in its place. And initiative time. And I have a 6, so
3.
5.
1.
all right.
Oh no.
So I have initiative this turn, and we might be saying bye to Drax.
Nah, I still got the Matrix pants on.
All right. All right. All right. No shit. All right. So you guys have initiative. So they're reaching their tentacles out, and it's the same fucking scene. So it's continuation of before. You're slapping them away. They're wrapping around you. You're pulling them off and then they grow back. And there's just this black bile and ichor surrounding you, just at the ground. So you guys have initiative. I would say Drax is probably going to be the one who needs to act right now.
Get on, you damn fool, before we leave you.
How many are within like 10 feet of me?
Every single
6.
one of them. All of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Everyone
6.
jumps queen.
How far is the truck from me?
You are right. Like, you can get in the truck. You could attack and get in the truck still.
Well, the attack I want to make is a little ridiculous.
Make it.
I'll describe it. You can tell me how well or not it could work out. But my goal would be to do some sort of like Link's spinning attack with my sword, like sweep as many things out of my way and move to this truck, and not even necessarily try to get in it, just climb on top of the hood or whatever and grab on.
So I'll allow it. Just make your attack at -4.
Okay.
And I will let you attack 4 of these guys at the same time with that ability thing that you're doing.
I'm just hearing like Link's little voice coming out of Drax, like, "Whirlwind!"
It's gonna only be an 8 after the -4.
Yeah, it didn't. You try it, but they hopscotch over it.
All right.
or jump rope, basically.
Am I still successful in using this to move closer to the truck and climb?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So if anything, it's just kind of moving them out of my way.
So, what does Jork do once Drax gets on the?
Okay, so are there any of these guys in front or behind the truck right now?
Yeah, so there are like 3 in front and 4 to the left.
Okay, I am going to.
These are American type vehicles. So
I'm gonna gun it in front, gun it forward to try to run over the 3.
Yeah, it fucking squashes them. Right. So so you have about, like I said, a block till that building that you guys were gonna go in.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you gonna do with this? So we're out of initiative at this point. So what are you gonna do whilst in the truck? And
honestly, I was not.
Is Bubba.
I was not really leaving. I said I mean, personally, I would say while I'm squashing these guys, somebody get near Mads. Because I'd personally rather finish this thing off before we run into more crap. Because we know we saw something in that building, so I'm assuming there's more shit around.
Yeah, so use the driving away as an opportunity for let me get his name right.
Just for
Nambe.
Nambe to get into his meds.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna go and squash those guys, and now it's
There's 3 left.
yeah.
So just for my reference, because I have kind of a little map drawn up that I'm looking at. How far down the block do you go?
Well, if we're in a big long truck, I basically want to drive far enough that they went under my front and rear tires. That's about it. That's really all I'm doing, is just trying to give us a more advantageous position to continue the fight.
Definitely. So
So we would still be within like nearby range.
Yes, I would. That was my idea.
yeah. So I got you now. So we'll still stay in initiative then. And Nambe can take his action now.
Well, if we're still in nearby range, I'm gonna shoot at one of them.
Definitely.
So I'm not sure like where the rules for the plus and minuses for ranges are, but so when I'm nearby, I don't get a plus for my rifle.
So this is one thing that I need to clarify at some point, because the movement distance is different than the distance for the ranged weapons. So the way it works, is
I got the chart right here. It's on the sheet he gave me on the 11th page.
So
okay.
It's relative, right? So like a pistol is going to have a different short, mid, long, and distant range than a sniper rifle, for instance. You know what I mean? Because distant for a pistol is like 100 yards, right? But for a sniper rifle, that's going to be in upwards of a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Especially on a big, huge, flat continent, right? You're going to be able to shoot pretty fucking far. So it's relative, and I need to figure out a way to clarify that and make that easier to understand. I haven't been able to wrap my head around how exactly I'm going to do that. But,
sure.
Basically, it's just whatever weapon you're attacking with, I declare what range you're in with.
See, I'm still going to use my sniper in this case.
And if we want to go ahead and I'm sorry to interrupt there, but just for the rule clarification, I was thinking, for instance, close for a ranged weapon would be like nearby for movement, and normal would be like far, and then distant would be distant, or for short, mid, long.
It just has to be different for every weapon, for real. Like like I said, a pistol is going to have a totally different distant range. Like it's going to take a negative modifier.
I mean, I would say a pistol is probably not going to hit. I would honestly, if you wanted to just do that, I'd like shove the -8 to long range for a pistol.
So yeah, I'm gonna work on that later. But just basically, I know what weapons you're attacking with, and I'll tell you what modifier to add for right now, and I'll clarify that a little later.
I've just got like 30 feet in my head for a pistol is my ideal range. So
and see, in the system limitations, which this is pretty much a rip off of, it specifies the distances for each one of these, right? So like a pistol, it says like 25 foot is short, 50 foot is mid, and 100 foot is long. And then for like a rifle, it has like a different distance set.
Oh, okay.
But I really hate using distances in theater of the mind, because it doesn't make any sense, and we all have a different picture of what's going on anyway, right? So, like, I like using relative distance. But you are definitely still in the short range for your sniper rifle.
Cool. Well, I'm still gonna use it.
Dope.
Okay. Well. How many minuses would I get? Because I rolled a 19.
You're just like 2, I think.
Just the -4, and then you have a +2 for your attack bonus, right?
Yeah, so 17 total.
Yeah, it definitely hits. Do you are you attacking one of the injured ones, or or the injured one, or one of the ones that's fresh?
No, one of the fresh ones.
All right.
I rolled a 10 damage.
Yeah, that kills it. So another
Sweet.
shot rings out, echoes amongst the buildings, and I think we are back at initiative. And we have 2 mutants left. And I rolled a 1, so I would wager that you guys probably are going to beat me, seeing as you have 3 opportunities.
I got a 5, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna begin getting in my mads now.
All right, so A, I want to know what your mads looks like, right? And B, I want to know how exactly that works. Like some mads might open up in the front and kind of scoop you up. Some might just have like a hatch that you have to crank open. Like,
Right. So that is one question I had for you. So I have a fair amount of creativity with this.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They're 10 to 15 foot tall or long, right? So if you want to be in like a Zoid type mech, it's awesome. Whatever you want. If you want it to look like a Desetti, that's sweet, right?
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was thinking. Is like it's almost like a car, but it has an arch, you know? Like like it's got treads, okay? So imagine like one of those back massager things that has like 4, prongs, and it has like treads at the bottom of these, and it has like this glass like dome thing in the front that comes down and forms like a ramp, like a scooped ramp, so he can literally just on all fours like crawl right up into it.
Dope.
It
So
sits,
like,
fairly low to the ground and that kind of thing.
so you crawl up into it, and I kind of and the interfacing system finds its mark in the back of your spine, and you feel these sharp pains, and it hurts every fucking time, right? You feel these
Right.
sharp pains in your spine as you enter your mads, as it begins to interface, and your vision goes black, and you lose a sense of yourself for a moment. And we are on Jork or Drax now.
Okay, Jork's going to go first, all right? Jork is going to shift it into reverse with one hand, steer back into the right with the other hand so the rest of the guys are in front of me. And with his other 2 hands that still have pistols in them, I'm going to shoot out the front windshield.
Dope. Sweet. Yeah. That's so cool. I love the Satiri. They're so awesome.
And from there, I don't know if that's my full turn or if I can still get maybe a shot off, or that's probably
so.
it.
I would say the drive is your move, right?
Okay.
And you still have an attack.
All right, cool. So let's roll some dice. And since they're right in front of my hood, I should still be in the short range. So the first one hits. It's like a 21. The second one is even better. It's like a 22.
All right. So one of them is definitely dead. You cannot roll a bad enough roll to kill this one.
Okay.
Right. And roll damage for the other one.
Oh, so I hit one and then roll a d6 for the other one.
Yeah, the other one only had 1 health left, so.
Okay, I rolled a 1, so in case we get that other one down to 1 health, that'll be taken care of, or whatever logic 1 damage does. Anyway, that's it.
So yeah, you like as you reverse and get into position, you take your 2 shots, you destroy the one, right? And like all of a sudden, you start to hear like this crashing sound, and out of one of the buildings comes a massive Mads, right? It is a shining, gleaming white Mads, and you see steam just go like blast out of these pipes on his shoulders, and you hear this blaring noise, or like a megaphone, and the voice comes on, and you see it take aim at this one mutant, and it fucking takes it. It just like it just fucking annihilates this fucker, right? And the building that it crashed through, you watch as it just fucking falls down, right? This thing, and there's dust and debris and everything like that. And it goes, "Name yourself."
I am Drax, and you stole my kill.
What are you doing in this district now?
What does it look like we're doing?
We're cleaning out bad guys right now. These are, I mean, unless you're a fan of mutants, I think we're probably on the same team here.
What is your plan? And this is all blaring over this loudspeaker.
Well, this is a kind of a uninhabited part of town, and it's just full of bad guys. So we figured we'd, you know, take what is valuable out of it, so it can be used for, you know, the rest of the city.
And you hear this is like maniacal laugh, and he says, "Are you talking about this building? You will not step foot in this building behind me."
Oh, really? I didn't know. Is it still significant? That's really interesting.
Oh, I know that you've heard the rumors. There's probably a power core in there, and me and my clan are here to take it. They're not far behind me. And then he reaches, like he takes the arm of the Mads and just smashes the hood of the truck.
Are there any weapons in the back of the truck? Are there any anti-mech weapons?
Do I react to this Mads being right in front of me?
Do what?
Am I still like hanging onto the hood of this truck, and am I reacting to this Mads being right in front of me?
I thought you were on the back, kind of. So,
I mean, I was waiting for my turn in initiative, but things happened.
Definitely. So I imagined you like kind of hanging off the side or the back. If that's wrong, then he definitely didn't. Just
Okay, so when we climbed on, or when I climbed on to escape, like I was imagining myself climbing up on the hood and just kind of holding on there. And then when he did his reverse drive and then turned a little bit, I was going to use the momentum of that to like throw me off and attack the last mutant. And then right before that, this Mads came and annihilated it. And I'm upset that I didn't get to kill it.
So is your reaction to enter to combat with this guy?
Yeah. I apologize, guys, if you're trying to be the talking type. It's not the character I am today. But I've become infuriated with this man for stealing my kill, and now he's broken our truck, and I'm just going to run at him. And how is he in a light Mads as well? Is he like 10 or 15 feet, or is he larger?
Bigger.
All right, I am going to slash at his whatever, if it's a foot or a wheel or whatever. I'm going to damage whatever's within reach of me.
Definitely.
His toe is toast, man.
Well, I mean, if it's like an ankle or something, I might be trying to disable it, but
roll your attack.
Uh, 12.
Yeah, it doesn't hit.
Okie dokie.
So like you're like you smack this thing, and its armor and its shield is a little more powerful than you anticipated, right? And we need to enter into initiative. Ethan will say you're on turn 2, right? Next turn you can act in your Mads, and I got a 1. So
yeah, I got a.
You guys have initiative more than likely.
4.
Okay, so we're still missing Nambe this turn.
Yep. No Nambe this turn.
Okay. I am going to for my movement, I am going to be walking back towards my Mads, and as my action, I'm going to have my drone fly up and try to disrupt some circuits on the big guy.
So your drone lands is definitely within range to land your drone on him, right? And let me make my save versus overload.
No, go ahead and fail it, please.
It's gonna be hard for me to pass it. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
Yeah, I rolled a 1, so because it's a crit fail, we'll go ahead and go for 2 rounds of disabled.
Ooh.
And you guys have it's Drax's turn.
Can I tell where the cockpit of this thing would be?
So if you're looking for like a find weakness or something like that, you don't have an engineer in the table or on your team, so you're not going to be able to find weakness.
Okay.
I think he was talking about trying to get whoever to the. Can he see where the person driving this thing is?
I think I mean you're trying to get him out or trying to attack that kind of right, Trent.
Yeah, like my idea here is with his Mads powered down is I was going to start climbing it, and if there was like a door or like a panel or something, I was going to try to rip it off.
So if you had an engineer, right, they would
Guide that.
they
Okay.
would guide that, but you guys don't have that. I have a mechanic for that, so
All right. If I can't think of a target, I'm just going to continue swinging my sword.
Well,
Yeah,
can you roll engineering with the 1 out of 6?
fuck it, yeah, do it.
Is this like a bonus attempt to tell if I know, or?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
this isn't an action or anything like that. Just roll.
Okay.
If you get a 1, if you're able to get the 1.
I'm gonna take a quick glance at the meds before deciding if I'm swinging my sword. I hit a 3, so it looks giant in metal, and I swing my sword at its foot again.
Definitely, and like I'll allow like based on situations and stuff like that, I'll allow like bonus modifiers and stuff like that. So like if you want to fucking climb this guy and like jam your sword in, and I'll allow bonuses and stuff like that for attacks and whatnot.
That's fair enough. All right. Yeah. Let's. Is it like a bipedal or is a quadrupedal? Bipedal. Tie. All right. I'll climb up to at least where like just above where the waist maybe, and just thrust my sword. Using my weight and maybe even like a downward angle to try to help gravity into.
Kick him in the robot nuts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So roll your attack at a +4.
That's probably significant. 12, 3, and 4 is 19.
19. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that hits, right? And you watch for a second as like the shield flutters, right? Well, actually, what's your damage? My bad, I'm fucking up.
Hup. My damage is 14, so it does 12 damage to the Mads because I only suffer -2 damage, not have to do 10.
So its shield is 5, so it soaks 5 of that. Takes, and then it took
9
damage.
MHP.
Damn. Oh yeah. All right. So like you this thing definitely falters. Like it definitely goes like you see it like kind of like some of the like tubes are like spraying and stuff like that, and you do get some psychocene on you though. All right.
Uh-oh.
So we'll resolve that later, and we are on initiative again, but it doesn't matter. You guys have initiative automatically because he's inoperable. So we have Nambe. Nambe has interfaced with his Mads.
What did Jort do last turn? Did I miss something, or was that whenever
He overloaded it.
his drone like stunned it?
Yeah, he
Yes.
overloaded it.
Oh, okay, dope. Um, so Nambe's like comes to, I guess, and he's tapped into the machine, and he like the tread like comes down, and he lowers himself off of the truck, and it says I have a light ranged weapon. So can I say that like in the center of the back there's something like a 20 millimeter rifle? Does that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah. So basically, it's the same kind of classification. So, like, if you were like in a biped mech that was holding a weapon, a light ranged weapon would be like a pistol for a mech, right?
Oh, okay. So it needs to be a little smaller than maybe like a 20 millimeter rifle.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not like super.
Okay.
I'm not super technical with that stuff. I don't really
But
know.
it'll be something that's armor piercing. Whatever's
20 mil's
whatever.
pretty small cannon.
Yeah,
honestly.
20 mils. That's not like a tank fire. That's
Right.
that's pretty low level armor piercing.
Okay, cool. So, and he takes his treads and he lowers himself off, and he's just like, what the hell? Like, what happened while I was out?
I'm
And out
hanging
of
on my sword in the middle of the meds.
Yeah, right. Like out of nowhere, I just see my buddy just hanging off this gigantic Mads that came out of nowhere. So, I'm going to try, since it's bipedal, I'm going to try to shoot it in like what would be its knee.
Definitely.
Like I'm trying to kind of if at all possible, lower it to the ground somehow. So I
It's
just
all
roll a
forward.
normal attack,
Goodbye,
right?
Drax.
Yep.
Okay.
And now you're using your mad sheet.
Yeah. Okay, so I rolled a 9, so 11, I
Does not
think.
hit.
Okay.
So
like the bullet passes like in between the thing's legs and you just see it impact in the building behind it.
yeah, dude, definitely. You just and this debris and dust and some of the glass that's still in the edge is just like and right now I just have this picture of like this battlefield just completely dusty, almost you can't see very far or anything like that. And then we're back around to another initiative for you guys. Or wait. No, Jork still has an action, and Drax still has an action. My bad.
Hang on just 1 second. What does AB mean on the mad sheet?
Attack
Melee
bonus.
AB ranged it. Huh?
Attack bonus.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Okay, so for my action, I'm going to load up. He said he has buddies coming, so I'm going to get ready for that. So I will be setting the next 3 turns. So this turn, I've hot holstered my pistols. I am climbing into my Mads. My Mads is like, I picture more mine like, I mean, it's solid, but more like Ripley getting into Loader from Aliens. Except with 4 arms, of course. It'll have a let's see, what is its melee weapon going to be? We'll have it be like a hooked end sword, and that's all serrated and crap for armor piercing, and then it'll have other arms as well and be bipedal. If that's okay.
Dope. All right.
Okay.
So you're starting to interface with yours.
Yep. So I'm like, zzz. All right.
And then we have Drax.
All right, I'm gonna pull my sword out of the hole that it made if it's still there, and I'm going to kind of climb a bit higher, but also like shimmy my way around to the back of the mads that I am on top of, just to thinking I'm going to reduce the chance of being shot by my ally, being on the opposite side of this guy instead of between the bullets and this guy.
Oh, you don't like when we shoot you? Okay.
Not with a Mads gun. I don't want to see how good my armor is yet. And it's going to be kind of like a similar attack. I'm just kind of looking. I'm just going to keep stabbing into different places until I can find something that's more effective.
Definitely.
Ooh, that probably don't hit. I found a hard spot. Yeah, that definitely doesn't hit. In my attempts to repeat my action, my sword just kind of glances off, and
You said you're on the top and back of this thing?
yeah, maybe not all the way like to the top of it, but just higher than where I was and around the backside now.
Kind of, and it's like, and it's kind of like sad, right? Like it's like sad robot mode where it's like because it's inoperable. So that was the second turn of inoperation, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I rolled a 2 on my attack, by the way. I don't know if you want that to be so bad that something happens.
No, that's not. It's crit fails and crit successes is all I'm interested.
So now, would he be able to perhaps, since he's crawled all over this mech, roll another engineering check?
I think we're gonna call it at 1, right? Like,
okay.
It's, like he already assessed it as well as he could have the first time.
Okay.
Just like a perception check or anything like that in another system where you can't keep rolling for it.
Gotcha.
Because eventually you'd fucking succeed, right? You'd eventually get away.
Yeah, it defeats the purpose, I think.
Okay. No problem.
So,
new information.
Let's see. It is initiative again, right? Yeah, I think Nambe acted, Drax acted, and Jork is getting into his suit.
And by the way, before we go to the next initiative, I would have called my drone back.
Yeah. Okay.
Except, yeah, by the wording there, it says after it shocks someone, it needs to go recharge.
Yeah, so it probably automatic. And kind of I take for granted. I guess I don't know if I would just assume that it would go home automatically.
Yeah. Right, and home would be its docking station in the truck, I would assume.
Yeah. So I got a 4 for my initiative.
I got a 5.
All right. So you guys have initiative.
I'm doing nothing for the second round.
I'm going to essentially back up to try and like aim a better shot. And I'm gonna fire again. So imagine like this insectoid kind of reptilian thing, and its treads just start whirring, and it's very speedy and kind of like low to the ground, like I'd said. So it like just and then like it just fires again.
Definitely roll your attack.
I'm kind of trying to put like the truck between me and it, because I don't want it to step on me like a bug.
Well, let's say
I'm doing a playtest right now. This guy's system it has like mechs and shit and aliens and.
We'll say that is at
mid-range,
so a zero
and now we're fighting.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you because.
Oh, I'm so
speaking.
sorry. Damn it. I apologize
Cool.
about that. I forgot that I'm not on push to talk. All right.
So we'll say it's at a 0 bonus if you're getting a little farther away.
Okay.
You'll get your regular attack bonus. You just don't get any range bonus or anything like that.
19 total.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so I've used 2 ammo. So 1d6 plus 1,
Oh, and
5
make sure
damage.
you're using your fuel whenever you move.
Yeah, it's like. Now, I see that there's a box that says fuel 17, but then in the description there's something that says fuel 6.
So the way that works is whenever that 6 gets to 0, you have to roll against fuel to continue.
Oh, that's my fuel, like, saving throw.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's it for me.
You got to roll damage?
I did. Yeah,
Oh.
I did 5. I thought I said it.
Oh, my bad. So it soaked 4 of that damage, and you watch as like a bullet hole kind of appears in the shell of the armor, and then we're on Drax.
And Nambe just like hisses and like, does like a fist pump thing, like yes.
And make sure you subtracted ammo for each of those shots.
Yeah,
That you
I
took.
don't have any more like actual bullets now.
So next round, you can save versus ammo to continue to shoot, but if you fail, it has to dock to be able to shoot again.
Okay, cool.
But you can use melee attacks and stuff like that still. You can punch the shit, you know what I mean? Or ram it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna blame that last fail on the location I was in and choose to not attack the same spot. So say I was probably around the shoulder blade area. I'm just gonna climb up to the highest point and kind of like jump on top of it and stab down with everything I've got.
Definitely.
Well, I rolled a 4 and I got an attack bonus of 3.
Plus 4, which is still only 11.
Yep.
But that doesn't hit anyway,
Okay.
right? And he has initiative now. And where you're at right now, Drax, you start to see like these latches kind of come off. They're like doot, 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 right? And this motherfucker is going to eject.
Oh god, I hope I'm not on top of it.
You are going with it, buddy.
Yes.
Going with it.
Do I know enough about Maz to realize that he's ejecting?
Yeah, but
all right,
I mean,
I'm grabbing whatever.
So, yeah,
my reaction is to grab whatever handhold I have.
Yeah, so you watch as this guy
dropping my sword if I have to.
All right, let me get to that rule part.
Damn, man.
All right. So,
Can you imagine?
Well, if I didn't move, I would have got burned by the thrusters or something.
All right, so you're holding on to this thing. Let's see. I rolled a 3 for the direction, so that means 1 is north, 2 is west or east, 3 is south. All right. So basically, this thing like fires up, right? And actually, let's make sure that he actually is able to eject. Oh shit!
Uh-oh.
All right, so this thing fires straight up into the air. You're probably getting to it's in like the 20 or 30 or probably 40 or 50 foot range in the air, right? And it starts to drift towards the back of the truck, right?
Uh-huh.
And generally you would expect for a for one of these ejection pods to release a parachute, right? But it's not happening. Like in this time, like time is slowed down, and like the parachute, you're like expecting the parachute to come out, but it's not doing it. And I said 40 foot, right?
So can I ask, can I try and kind of catch it like on the back of my machine?
I mean, so if we think about that, right? Like
it's not really going to help anything.
You have no software or anything like that. So like,
I mean, it just turns into a 30-foot fall. The damage is going to apply to your machine as well as me. So it's not.
That's literally me sticking you in between 2 pieces of metal instead of metal and ground. So
what does 9 damage do to Drax?
I have a question about that because it's a fall. So like the cockpit, for example, I would imagine would still have some sort of MADS HP applied to it. Would that, because I do still have a shield up and my MHP is operable on my armor, would it have some sort of like the Halo Spartan suit where he can like
how much
lock
shield do you
up.
have left?
I only have one shield.
All right, so it's going to take that shield, and it's not enough to take the MHP down, right?
Right.
So you take no damage, luckily. Like,
Okay, so it's kind of like the Spartan suit lockup thing where he just like orbital drops and hits the ground, and then his suit turns back on and he stands up.
Right, but the guy inside takes that 9 damage, right?
Okay.
So, and I guess the pod, and I hadn't thought about this really, and I guess I'm not probably going to put a rule for this, but the pod itself, after you eject, bad things are going to happen to you, right?
Yeah.
No matter what, right? It doesn't matter. He's so even if he didn't just die inside of that pod, he would have had to take he would have had to roll on the insanity table, right?
Right.
Because of the nature of direct interface, right? Ripping, I think
Kinda
was
like
it
a Pacific Rim type effect.
For somebody who has a Stompy Robot game, I've never seen that movie.
they're mentally paired with both their co-pilot and the robot, and
So
being separated from does bad things.
Okay, exactly. Yeah, I guess that is a logical outcome for anybody who does this sort of thing or writes any kind of literature about this. So yeah, even if he didn't die, bad things were gonna happen. But he died inside of his fucking suit, right? So this fucking thing ejects, and you're like riding it, and it goes 40 foot in the air. Over the back of the truck and lands behind the truck in this cloud of fucking dust, right? And you like like coughing or whatever. Like you tell me how's this go down?
All right, first, do you want me to say that I dropped my sword in order to be able to have enough strength to hold on for this ride, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so my sword it kind of clanked down the body of the Mads and fell into the ground wherever it landed, and I'm just holding on. We're flying through the air, and I kind of like, the higher we get, I kind of like look out on the horizon a little bit and realize I've gained a significant amount of altitude. And as we start to fall, I'm also noticing that there's nothing slowing the descent of this, and I just kind of like brace for impact on the side of this thing as opposed to jumping off at the last minute.
All right, and you're kind of drenched in psychosine right now.
Yeah.
So let's roll on the insanity table.
Yes.
All right, and you tell me what you get. It's a D20.
I roll a 20. 11.
11. Voices in the walls. The character will believe there are things in the walls and everyday objects. The character will try to break things open wherever they perceive the voice is coming from. 1d4 to determine where it comes from.
You want me to roll a d4?
Yep.
3.
Electronics.
Is the cockpit the closest electronic?
I would imagine your comm link is the closest electronic.
Oh, so am I hearing voices through my comm link that are not my allies?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll just like blare over the comms of like, who's on this channel? This is supposed to be a secured channel. Quit talking to me. I will find you and I will kill you. And I just kind of like rip the radio out of my ear and throw it somewhere.
And this is gonna be in effect for.
Or can I not? Is the radio in my helmet? Do I rip my helmet off?
Is your power armor have a helmet?
I mean, I would imagine. I've been kind of imagining it somewhere between like the Spartan armor or Fallout power armor.
Why don't you roll break to see whether or not you're able to smash your helmet?
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, so you take your helmet off and you just destroy your helmet.
How long does this last, by the way?
We're gonna say for 4 turns.
Okay.
4 rounds. And then like just as you start to break that helmet, you hear And have you guys seen the tentacle monster that um that I had commissioned for this game?
Are you talking about the cover photo on your page?
Yeah.
It's almost like a meatball with a giant mouth and a bunch of tentacles.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you see.
Where is it?
It is between you and that original building that you were going to.
Damn, man.
And it's like literally fucking breaking every like all like it's and let's say it is like 40 foot tall. It's bigger than the light class mad that you guys just defeated. It's as tall as some of the buildings that you're nearby.
Holy shit.
Um, and it is attract. It seems that your fight has attracted some attention um, from this guy.
Okay, I do have one question. So the building that we're trying to go into,
Mm-hmm.
um, what's the front of? You said the front of it has like a big door, like it can be a big door.
Yeah.
As soon as this thing comes out, I mean, my first reaction is going to be to try to drive my Mads into that building.
So you're gonna have to drive your Mads through
What's
this
guys,
thing.
it is Timon
Yes.
back with another video today, breaking down how I say Thomas physically Orlando magic.
So
So before I start, if you want to see more daily NBA content like this, be sure to drop a like and
like
subscribe.
you're
Can you mute your mic, please?
So you can see it.
I don't know his name.
I got it. I took care of it.
Sweet.
So yeah, this guy, this meatball with tentacles, if you will, is between you and that door.
Right, I know. I'm going to try and drive like under it.
All right.
And as I'm driving past Drax, like through the Mads intercom or whatever, you can hear him. And he just says, "Come with me, we must run."
I didn't hear that. My helmet's in pieces.
He has a
No,
like-
I'm
like
talking
the-
about like out loud through the intercom
Oh,
of
like
my
your own Mads thing. Gotcha.
yeah.
So
It
you're
wouldn't be loud and booming like the big one, but I mean there would be some sort of a thing where I
Exterior
can speak
comm.
out.
Yeah, gotcha.
So you're asking him to jump on?
Basically.
Oh, you guys are so cool.
Is he traveling in the direction of where my sword's laying on the ground?
Yep.
So essentially what would happen here is you were in between the truck and I. So
Alright.
I'm like slowly coming up beside you and I yelled at you to come with me, we must run. And then I'm going to be going towards where your sword, I mean, it would be where that Mads was. I don't know exactly where it was.
So
But I'd be going in that
downed
direction.
is in between you and the meatball.
All right.
Right.
I'll listen to him and I'll run up and I'll grab, but I'm gonna kind of like hang low so that if I can like lean over and swipe my hand on the ground when we get to my sword and I can try to pick it up on the move.
Roll a reflex save.
Doop 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 doop.
Would I even be able to see his sword? Like, is it sticking up or is it laying down?
Just for coolness, we'll say that it's embedded in the ground.
Okay, cool. So
my
it's super obvious. I'm going to go right past it.
My reflex is only a 7 out of the needed 15.
Yeah. So like you see, you like try to grab it, but it escapes you as you're fucking zooming by this thing.
All right.
So let's see. Drax is swordless. Your punches are 1d4 MHP, right?
It doesn't have. Oh yeah, I think that's in the rules text, not in the character sheet.
Yeah. So it's a regular melee attack, right, with a 1d4 damage.
Okay.
All right.
Do I get a strength modifier on that or no?
Yeah, on the damage.
Okay.
And on the attack.
Sorry, another question I have. So, do I use a fuel when I dismount? Or did it not use a fuel until my first movement, and this be my second, or would this be my third?
This is your third movement, I believe.
Okay, cool.
And to get fully under him, you'll have to use 2 moves, right?
Okay.
So, but you can do 2 moves in one turn. You just can't attack anymore after that, right? It's like a dash action.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do that.
And
Because like I'm essentially trying to book it like inside. I'm gonna crash my fucking thing like through the front of the building. Like I'm not trying to fight this fucking guy.
If you do like eject or anything like that, there are consequences, right?
Yes.
You have to take the full 3 turns to get out of your mads to, safely remove hardware.
Right. That's kind of why I'm trying to go like inside the building.
All right. So let's roll initiative first before any of that. And I got a 4.
I also got a 4.
All right. Do you have a maneuver modifier?
Give me just a second. Maneuver. Yeah, +1.
All right, you win.
Sweet.
And we'll go ahead, because we left initiative for just a second. We'll go ahead and say that Michael is Jork is active now, so we have this turn. And you guys have initiative, and you make your move. You take your 2 fuel, and you get between this thing's legs. Let's see if he can, because I'm gonna roll something. I'm gonna roll a reaction.
Yeah, just this little like insect card just buzzing up like, and we go right past the sword, and then I'm like in his legs.
Yeah, so like you start to think that you're home free, right? But this tentacle reaches down to try to trip you up. So let me get you to roll a reaction.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking through my sheets here, and
Or do I have
what
an
am
ability still on there? Under the saving throws, it should be your second one or something like that.
Yeah, it's the diamonds.
Oh, okay. It is reaction. There it is. Okay, sorry. I just didn't see it. Okay, so I have a 9 there, and I rolled a 10. Am I trying to get above or below?
Yeah, you barely pass, right? So you get through, right? As this tentacle tries to swoop down and trip you up, and now you are behind the meatball monster. I like that. And guys, I'm sorry I've pissed so many times this game, but I gotta piss again.
It's cool.
Jork, are you back?
Together a team that they thought they'd compete for home court advantage in the first round of the playoffs. With Rick Carlisle on the bench, they had
Guess not.
What's up?
I didn't know if he was back to being in comms with us or not.
Oh.
Oh, who, me?
until he reversed
Or
his
him?
decision
Or the
and went
DM?
back to the Clippers.
You.
Oh,
That
okay, yeah.
Mavericks team
Yeah,
still
I've
got a
just been muted.
Gotcha.
Just found out the Magic are in negotiations for Isaiah Thomas. So I was excited, so looking up stuff.
Probably shouldn't have had me climb on your meds.
It seemed like the thing to do at the time.
What?
I mean, I don't meta like at all, So the only thing Nambe knows is you were right fucking in front of him, and he's just like, "Oh shit! Well, I'm going that way. If you want to get on, you can." Literally just sees like this fucking dome shoot off into the air, like almost crush me, and then you just crawl out of it and then tear your helmet in two. And then he's just like, "What?"
All right.
All within a matter of seconds.
I didn't need it anymore.
We have Drax or Jork can go next.
So we're on the other side of this meatball monster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're technically behind it, but barely.
Yeah.
I don't have any ammo on my character sheet, so I don't know how much I'm supposed to start with, and I don't know what my anti-mads rifle reloads at. Like, is it like one shot and then reload, or is it like this giant single bolt rifle?
I haven't really decided how I was gonna do ammo yet either. But we will just say one shot, reload, next turn, one shot, right? So you can't just shoot it every turn.
Okay. Did my in my inventory or in my equipment, I have a rifle and an anti-mads weapon. Dude, I imagine they were just probably like slinged over my back, or maybe even like attached magnetically to my armor in some way.
Yeah, man, whatever flavor you want to put in it, for real.
But I don't know how externally attached they could have been and survived the ejection.
I think that everything would have, you know what I mean? I think in that situation, I'm not gonna break weapons. You know what I mean? Like in order to get a broken weapon mechanic, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Like it adds crunch to a game, right?
Okay. I guess after we zip by, or while we're zipping by, I'm gonna unsling my anti-mads weapon, which is, I don't know if I want it to be like some sort of rifle or like a grenade launcher or something like that.
And we're gonna say you're in short range, so this is gonna be at -8.
Okay. Probably not even gonna remotely hit this massive thing. But I will attempt to shoot at this giant thing with my Mads weapon. I don't know why I want to use that and not the regular rifle, but that's what I'm doing.
Your instincts are correct, young Padawan.
It's big. I'm using a big gun. -8. I will not hit that thing.
All right, what did you roll though?
I rolled a 9, which I have a +1 to range. So.
If you rolled negative, I would have made that thing backfire on you. Dead serious.
As you're riding a Mads, nonetheless.
That'd be fine. It doesn't do that much damage.
And we are on Jork in his Mads.
Okay, Jork is going to enable stealth and try to get past. Well, no, are they in combat right now?
They're behind.
Yeah,
him.
we're pretty steadily in combat.
Oh, okay.
We're like I'm shooting underneath it, like, so essentially he jumped on and then I took off like through its legs, and he's now firing like a fucking grenade launcher at it off the back of my Mads, like as we're zipping under it.
And how far away are they?
They are they're, let's see, because the way I have the movement for Mads is ×10 for. So actually, let's take. I'm gonna retcon something. Ethan, you only take 1 fuel loss, right?
Okay.
Last move. And after Jork goes, if you want to make an attack, you can. And so you are within 1 move for melee. You're within nearby range.
Speaking of making sure we do things correctly, while I'm on my turn, is the Mad speaking to me?
I imagined electronics were more like TVs and
Okay, not
and
just every
like
machine I run across, but
no, yeah,
gotcha.
more like any like this is gonna it would affect you more if you were like back at home, like
Gotcha.
it's not as bad now. If it was like under the wall, like one of the other options was from the ground or from the floor and stuff like that, like so like since we're not in the middle of like a populated area, this is not the worst kind of insanity that you could experience right now.
Okay.
So Jork.
Okay. So, uh, yeah, I guess I guess I won't bother to stealth, and I'll just try to jump on his back with my sword.
Run at giant meatball, jump, attack.
Yep.
Well, you can't jump. That is the one thing. They're too heavy. So because there are jump jets in the game, right? So you don't have that capability.
I try to jump.
He takes one larger step.
Yeah.
It's funny. I can just see him like straining in his cockpit, like trying to jump. Just nothing happens.
Okay, so all I get is the +2
Yeah.
to hit. Okay.
Yep.
17 or 18
Yeah, that hits.
for 2 damage. Woo-hoo.
Nice. You're gonna make short work of it.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right.
So you said that I only took 1 fuel and I have the capability to attack?
Yep.
Um,
You have no ammo though, do you?
no.
Make a saving throw versus ammo.
Nah, I fail.
So you hear like a click, but you could does your thing have like arms at all?
I wasn't really thinking that it did. Like, it looks a whole lot like the Dissetti in my picture. It's like, got kind of, you know,
Maybe it uses its mouth as like a melee.
I don't want to try to attack it from below. I still want to try and like book it into that building. So I
Right.
don't even think
So
I'm
you
gonna
can
really
so I
bother.
guess if you want, you can move a. Well, you've already tried to attack, so we'll end it there. So we
Yeah.
are on
Just as
initiative
I'm
again.
zipping under, I just hear the clicking and Dissetti's just like, damn it.
All right, I got a 4 for initiative.
Well, I didn't beat it.
Once again, I also got a 4 for initiative.
Well, you
I
have
got
the
a
initiative
6.
then. Yeah, you guys have the initiative.
I'm just gonna keep going forward. Like I'm literally just just driving into the building.
So yeah, you do that. You just blow the doors wide open, destroy like the door frame and everything like that as you barrel into this building. Whenever you get in there, you do see 3 more mutants, but they look terrified and they're starting to run away.
Fuck yeah. Okay, so I burst in the door and the mutants begin running and I don't see any other like super apparent threats.
No, so inside here it is like like we would equate it to like a very large showroom, right? At the very at the directly across from you, there is what looks like a huge chair, right? And there are various uh, mechanical debris within this building.
Just to clarify, you said a huge chair?
Huge chair.
Okay. Um, I think I'm just kind of gonna leave my turn there, to be honest, like, because I have one fuel left, and I don't want to get out yet. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
I'm just kind of like taking the room in, like making sure I'm far enough away from the door to not get tentacled, like through the door.
Yeah, so you could make a you can get far enough away to where they have to move to make an attack against you.
Cool.
All right. Who's next?
Gonna dismount the mads I'm hanging onto and reload my anti-mads weapon.
And now you are within long range because even though for the Mads it was only like one move, he's like distant now for you.
Okay.
Like almost no, not distant, far away.
Okay.
So you're like reloading, and then what does Jork do?
Jork is suddenly by himself. But Jork's gonna go at it. Why not? Fuck it.
You are in a giant robot.
Yeah, why not? When in robot, fight. All right, so I'm just going to grab on with my other 3 arms and reach back with my sword and give him a whack.
Let me. You're gonna grab on.
Yeah.
Let me make a save real quick. Just a second. I'm sorry. Yeah, he passes. So he's able to shrug off your grab, but you are still able to attack.
Okay.
I was gonna give you a bonus, but it didn't matter.
All right. I can hit a 13.
You hit. So you say you rolled 13.
Yeah.
You're right on.
All
So
right.
roll damage.
6 damage.
Nice. This thing lets out a huge fucking scream. It opens its mouth, and you see these rows and rows and rows upon teeth going all the way down its throat. Alrighty then. So we're on initiative again. I got a 2.
I got a 3.
Beat it.
I didn't take my turn. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
So
you didn't.
we'll keep that 2 for.
No, you took your turn. We're fine. We're next initiative. It's good.
So he is right in front of you,
Yeah.
and he's going to attempt to whack you with his tentacles. And I don't think a 10 hits, right?
Nope.
Not even fucking close.
Correct.
So I'll take that 2 for initiative. What'd you guys roll?
3.
Yeah. You guys are on initiative, and Jork, why don't you go ahead and go since you're right in combat with him?
All right. I hit a 13 again.
Dope.
Oh, I want to try to grab onto him again, though.
Yep, go ahead.
Or you have to
Let me
if you
roll
want to
my
roll.
save.
Yeah.
I failed, so you get a +4 bonus.
Dope, which I hit anyway, but that's fine.
We'll just add that to damage. Go ahead and add that to damage as well.
Oh, really? Okay, because I have 6 plus 4, so that's 10 damage.
All right. So, you grab hold of this guy with your 2 arms, and then with the other
3 arms.
So you grab hold of him with 3 arms, and with the other arm, and I guess it would be kind of like you're grabbing his leg or something like that because he's 40 foot tall. You know what I mean? So you grab hold of his leg and you just start hacking at his ankle, and then we are on Mambe and or Drax.
Is there any way to reload the the mechs without docking, or is it all based on getting back to the truck?
Yeah, that's all based on getting back to the truck.
Okay. I'm just kind of move up towards the door to this building, I guess. Make sure I have a good firing position and shoot at the meatball monster.
The backside. So you're at long distance, so take a +4.
14.
That hits.
Or excuse me, 13, but that also hits.
Yep.
1d4. 1 MHP.
All right. So you like it hits and explodes, and it lets out this huge scream, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something. And then we are on Mambe.
I'm gonna begin. As long as I don't see any threats around me, like if I anticipate I can safely exit my mads, I'm gonna begin doing so.
Sure. There are those muties, right? But they were kind of starting to run away.
Right.
So yeah, you're gonna begin the exit situation, or the
Yeah.
what would you call that?
Procedure.
Exit procedure. Yeah. All right. So 3 turns.
Please exit the vehicle.
And we are back on initiative. I got a 4.
I got 1.
I'm gonna assume that I don't roll right because I'm inoperable.
Everybody does. Just it's really supposed to be one elected person from the group, but just so everybody gets to roll dice and stuff like that, like we'll just all roll and you guys take the best out of the 3 of you.
I rolled a 2, so
I also rolled a 2.
All right, so
we lose.
I have the initiative. So this tentacle monster is going to try to flail its leg and get away from the grapple.
Get the metal tick off of his leg.
Yeah, right. I think it's funny this giant monster just like screaming and trying to kick you off.
And it's not able to get away, but it's still going to try to smack you, Jork, with its tentacle. And an 8 does not hit, right? So you guys are on initiative, and Jork is still the one right there with it. So
all right. So can I take a plus to the attack or still damage?
You still got it. You still got it.
All right. Yeah, I hit.
Yep.
And I do 4 damage, and if I or 8, depending on which ruling is there. I I'm digging my claws. I've got like these 2 fingers and then an opposable thumb, and I'm just digging them in as I keep my grip on them while I swing my sword.
Still fucking like letting out this horrible scream, right? Like as you as it's flailing and trying to get you off of it. And then we are on Drax or I'm sorry, Nambe. Oh wait, Nambe is we have no Nambe.
I'm exiting.
Yep, no Nambe this turn. We're on Drax.
So I like see him starting to like power down, and I kind of like think to myself that I just lost my ride, and I'm like really upset that I'm not in melee fighting something. So I'm gonna take like a quick look around for, I don't know, like a large metal pipe or debris of some sort that I could swing like a club or anything like that, and just start running at this giant thing.
Now that's pretty freaking funny, dude.
Alright, so roll your lowest stat to see if you find something.
Roll my lowest stat?
Yep.
Decipher?
No, your lowest attribute.
Oh, intelligence?
Yep.
I rolled over my intelligence.
You did not find it. It looks like you're gonna push the fuck out of this 40-foot tall thing. They don't call them giant killers for nothing.
I just want to like note the fact that I'm making an unintelligent choice, but I still roll. I rolled smartly, so I couldn't decide to use a stupid thing to attack. I guess I'm not.
It's gonna take you a while to get. It's like 4 turns, we'll say.
Oh god. I'm
Because you
going
have to pretty much run over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna reload and run as far as I can towards this thing.
So you get 1 move and 1 reload, right?
Okay.
So, all right, we're back at initiative. I got a 3.
Did you mean 4 turns of 1 move a turn, or were you saying 4 turns if I was to dash every turn?
So yeah, 4 moves. My bad.
Okay.
All right.
I rolled a 6.
Yeah, you guys have the initiative, and again, we'll go with Jork because he's in combat with it.
With the +4, I hit. So 14. And I do 9 points of damage.
Shit. It kind of like the other leg that you don't have grappled falls to the ground like it's definitely starting to waver. Maybe even more than that. There's definitely like all this green and black ichor just pouring all over your mads. Like it's completely just all over the ground and everything like that. And you're definitely making sizable gashes into this thing's leg.
I have a mechanics question real quick.
Yeah.
So, do Mads use fuel for melee attacks?
Nope. You could stand in a fight forever.
That's
basically.
cool.
As long as you don't move and as long as you don't shoot, you're not going to have to roll any saving throws.
But should I have rolled fuel from my initial move towards him?
No. So you should have taken... Do you see where I put on the side your fuel and your ammo?
Yeah.
You should have -1 from your fuel for your initial move.
Oh, okay.
Right? So until that value gets to 0, you don't have to make a saving throw versus fuel.
Okay.
All right. Where were we at again?
It's either Jork or either Drax or Nimba.
All right, Nambe or Drax.
Nambe.
Well, Nambe is still he's not available till next turn. He'll be exiting next turn. And
so the turn that I began it, that doesn't count as one of my...
That was 1. This is 2. Next turn is 3. Right?
I thought that... Okay. Maybe I counted wrong.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Last turn was 2, because the first turn we had initiative, and then the giant monster went twice.
It is this turn. Then you are available this turn.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, Nambe gets out and like scans the area. Would I be able to see those mutants?
Yeah, they're heading towards that big chair.
I'm gonna shoot one of them with my sniper rifle because I pretty much think they got that like behind me. Like he looks back and he just sees, Jork like in his mads just hanging on, just stabbing the ever living fuck out of this thing, and he's just like, nah, they're good. And so, I'm gonna try and shoot one of the mutants down towards the chair.
Yeah, they are long distance, so a +4.
Oh, a +4. Okay. 15.
Yeah, that hits.
6 damage.
He falls to the ground and gets back up real quick. And you see, you do see like pus and ichor, like puddling up in your scope, like on the ground.
Right, beginning to pour out of it.
Exactly. All right. So we'll put them into initiative now too. And Drax.
Gonna put the anti-mads weapon. Actually, no. I'm just gonna use the a full dash this turn. close as much distance as I can.
Didn't you reload your anti-mad?
I did.
Yeah, he did.
You should shoot it. just saying.
Yeah, please.
All right.
If he hits me, there's gonna be problems.
Is it based on the range I'm starting my turn at? Is it better to shoot now or do one move and then shoot?
It's better. It would have been better to shoot from where you were before. You're at -4 for mid range.
Oh, but that was just off of one move. Because you don't have a range thing on the Mads weapon, so I was kind of like imagining this.
Well, it's -8 at short range, -4 at mid range, +4 at long range, and +8 at distant.
So
right?
the anti-mech weapon is the exact same as the sniper.
Except for the sniper gets no +8 or -8 or anything like that. They don't have as big of a range of modifiers.
No, that's not how I see the table.
What? Oh shit! Did I change that? I might be looking at an older copy. Yeah, you're right. It is the same as the sniper. I think I did change that. My fault, guys.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm
like
looking at
the
a physical copy I have printed. I forgot that I changed some since the last time I printed this. My fault.
so the is that what you have printed? Is it's the -8, -4, +4, -8, or +8? Excuse me.
Yeah. But that the one that you're looking at is updated, so that is right and not what I have.
Well, the one I'm looking at, the anti-mech, is just completely blank.
Is it?
Yeah.
My bad.
So the kind of like the mental picture I had of it, or at least for my character anyway, was like this, lumbering rifle that doesn't actually have a scope on it. You just kind of point and shoot because you're aiming at big things.
Mm-hmm. So we'll just put you at long range and give you the +4 just to make it easy.
Okay. Where's my thing? There's my thing. $12.
Doesn't hit. So the Mad's weapon shoots wide. You don't quite, and you see it hit one of the walls over right next to it, and starts to bring that wall down to the opposite side of where George's Mads is. And then we are on initiative again.
You said it's starting to bring the wall down?
Yeah, it's a fucking massive weapon, man.
Yeah, I think he's picturing more like a anti-armor thing.
Yeah, like
you didn't
like,
know yet,
like
by the way.
Like a shoulder-fired 20mm.
You didn't.
Right,
Bad guys
right.
didn't go yet, by the way. I know
Did I not again?
I know I'm like.
I'm trying to let you guys.
I'm trying to die, but.
Alright. So he's gonna make his save again, and this time he breaks free, and he's going to try to bite your mech's head off. And a 19 finally fucking hits.
Damn it!
All right, and take 8 damage.
Okay, so the shield eats 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's
You take
2.
2 damage, and your shield takes 1 damage. So if it was 6 to begin with, now it's 5.
Okay.
All right, we're back on initiative, and I got a 2. I'm really fucking shitting the bed on initiative.
Yeah, you're not doing great. I got a 2.
Yeah, we got it. I got a 3.
So we'll go with Jork again because he's right there, but you don't get your bonus unless you grab him.
Oh, I'm grabbing him. That's that's kind of. I'm clingy.
And he fails to save, so you get your bonus again.
Okay. I missed though. I rolled a 3. So that's only a yeah, that's not enough.
All right. And Drax, you can dash and you'll be within close range at that point.
Do I want? Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm doing that. Just gonna start closing this gap.
All right. And what does Nambe do?
Or finish closing this gap, I should say.
I'm going to attempt to shoot one of the a different mutant.
All right.
I rolled my total is 13.
That still hits.
Okay.
They're not the most armored. Or
Right, they're like mobs. 12 damage. So that's decent.
That kills it. So,
Sweet.
Like you're watching, like you see one of them look, and like somehow, like it seemed like they were running as fast as they could run, but they somehow picked up the pace. And we're back at initiative. Oh fuck! Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
Yet.
Now we're initiative. Oh wait, no, we're not.
Finally, another. I got a 19. All right, so that's 23 total. I know that hits.
Yep.
For 8 damage.
Ooh, I'm at 1 hit point.
Dangerous.
Oh yeah.
And we're back at initiative. And I got a fucking 1. So I imagine that unless...
Oh yeah, I got a 2.
Unless all 3 of you... and we'll go with Drax this time, because he closed the distance.
Come on, Hero Drax. Make it happen.
I think I'm going to choose to use the anti-mads weapon as a club over my fists. What, well, I guess I rolled a hit as a melee weapon.
Exactly.
And then decide what damage die you want it to have. D4, so it's just the same as fist. I definitely hit. But, so, yeah, 18 on the hit.
Right, my bad. What was the result of that?
On my hit?
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, that hits. And then what was the D damage, or the damage was D4?
Rolled a 3 plus my 3 bonus. Makes 6. Minus 2 is 4.
That is enough to take it down.
Oh,
got it.
the chaos is real.
So, like, what does that look like? What did you?
So I was already close or near, right?
Yeah.
I just kind of, with the momentum of this 60-foot yard sprint, whatever the distance applied is, whatever the end of my dash, just the momentum of this sprint, I just kind of like run and jump and hammer with my rifle as opposed to attempting to reload it and use firearms.
So, like, I'm imagining like a jump of like 15 foot.
Okay, it's like this Herculean jump.
Exactly, and you basically like smash this thing and kind of embed yourself a little bit as this thing falls forward. Jordan, can I get a reaction save from you?
No. I rolled over my yes. I succeeded by 4.
So you're able to just make it. You're able to step out of the way in time for this thing to just thud on the ground. It kicks up a layer of dust, and Drax is covered in this fucking ichor and stuff like that. Now we do have to deal with something, Drax. We do. You're covered in the blood of a Gordinaak monster, right? So, and your helmet is not on.
It's not on.
So you're just breathing it in, like sucking it up your nose and
Like
shit.
I stand up out of the crater that I left in the back of this thing.
So I would like you to roll on the mutation table.
Ooh, is that a D20?
Yep.
17.
Oh god, this is perfect for you. This one is called Who's Hungry? You gain a taste for blood and must drink fresh blood every week or start to starve.
Okay.
So at the end of this week, Drex is going like right now. You're like, oh god, I'm fucking starving. Right, that's the initial feeling you have right now.
Okay.
Just this like Gordinaak like blood just seeping into your mouth, and you're just like, man, I'm fucking starving.
So at that, these muties they're running away. They're like fleeing in terror, right? At the sight of these mads and this combat and everything like that. What do you guys do now?
I guess I'll reload the rifle, put it back on my back, and make my way towards my sword.
So
When
you're gonna leave the building?
No, I'm still in the monster right now.
Oh yeah. My fault. He's at the door basically.
So I'm gonna climb out of the monster and make my way to my sword.
So Nambe, you are in the middle of this huge what we would look at and we would pretty much deduce that it was a showroom. I doubt that the Desetti knows that much about it, right? But
Right.
well, we would
Just
look
a
at it
giant open like space.
exactly with a large chair at the other side of the room.
So we're looking for some sort of like power thing. Do I see anything in this room other than the massive chair? I mean,
There's various
or is it
different like mechanical implements and stuff like that. You're not an expert, so you don't know what everything is. Like I said, the big focal point is the chair, but it is
right? Most of it just looks like junk to me.
Mhm.
I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom.
You're good.
Nambe is going to go over to the nearest wall and going to attempt to climb it so that I can better scout out like whether anything's hiding in the room and kind of wait for my companions.
All right.
The mutants were running towards the chair, so I'm obviously thinking that something worse is going to be over there.
So roll your climb because these are sheer walls for sure. And actually, there's not really a wall near you. You're like in the middle of this room. There are pillars though.
Okay, that'll work. A pillar would be fine. Okay. So I rolled a 2. So is it 1 through 3 I succeed, or is it 4 through 6?
The what you just said, 1 through 3.
Okay. So so he goes up and climbs this pillar, and he's like essentially just mapping out like the layout of the room and stuff in case like we have to escape quickly, seeing if there are anything like sneaking about and shit like that.
By now,
And
have exited out what looks like a door at the far back of the room. From here, you can now see like a faint glow coming from the back part of like the. So, I guess like how like a chair is like an L shape, right?
yeah, for sure.
At the elbow part, like of the chair, I guess, where it goes, the back part of the part that you would sit on, you see a faint glow from there.
Okay. So just to clarify, so is it in the chair or is it behind the chair?
looks like it's probably in the chair.
Okay. So like if a giant person was sitting, it would be like where their elbows would be.
No, my bad. It would be like where your ass would be.
Oh,
Like,
okay, cool. So now that I'm able to see that flat surface on the chair, that's why I can see the glow now, but couldn't before.
exactly.
Sweet,
And it's
that
very
makes
faint,
sense.
like almost like glow in the dark. You know how it doesn't like glow in the dark doesn't really emit like a real light, but
Yeah. Okay. All right. Other than that, I would just like go, I guess, meet up with my companions and explain that to them. But you know, essentially, what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't go like there by myself. I don't think.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So, is Jork? Is he going to put his uh Mads back on the truck, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that I could drive the truck so they can hook up real quick, reload,
Yeah, I was
refuel, or
actually-
whatever without having to leave their mads.
I mean, I probably didn't see him shooting at anybody, but I did see the guy got out of his mads and is going in to investigate something. I will probably walk over to the building. How much fuel is that?
Well, we're out of combat and stuff like that, so we're going to hand wave it right now, right?
We're,
For more like because we are getting towards the end of the time that I had allotted for this game,
oh, okay.
right? So basically, Drax goes, he picks up the truck, drives it straight like into this big huge showroom. And you guys want to investigate the chair a little more, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I can get into the showroom in my mads, I would just pull the butt off the chair with my.
Well, it's like gigantic.
Like, how big is it to me?
I wish I knew what like the anatomy of a chair was called, like the part where you sit
We have
on.
the seat, the back.
Yeah, the seat in the back. Jesus Christ, I'm retarded. Yeah, so the seat is taller than the monster that you just were fighting.
Oh, Jesus.
So this
Okay.
thing's like
Yeah,
the
it's like
tall
Abraham Lincoln's chair.
Like very massive.
Well, can I try to? I probably my mads might be better. Is it what material is it made out of?
It's all metal.
It's all metal.
Yeah, so whenever you guys get really close to it, you notice that there's like a access door on the side.
Oh, okay.
I'm
All
going
right,
to
so
attempt to climb
I'll
it.
exit then.
You're gonna climb.
Yeah, instead of going through the door, I'm going to attempt to climb.
So whenever you get on, go ahead and roll your climb. Well,
It didn't work. I rolled a 4.
So let's see. We'll find out at what point did you fall? Did you just not climb, or what happened?
Right, or did I get halfway up?
All right, so I'm gonna roll a d6. A 1 and a 2 is low. A 3 and a 4 is middle, and a 5 or a 6 is all the way up, and then you slide back. Right?
Sweet.
And a 1, so you basically just don't climb it. You're like I can't climb this. Right? I got a 1.
Okay, well that's much better than falling.
Yeah, because you would have taken damage. So yeah, you try to climb this thing. You're like, wait a second, I don't know if I can climb this thing.
Nah, I'm gonna go with him through the door.
Yeah, I'll go with the door. I'll exit and then go with the door.
So you open the door, and inside this this room that's underneath this huge chair, you see a much larger power core than what you anticipated. You thought that maybe you were gonna be getting like an ultralight or a light power core. This is like bigger than what you would even know a heavy class mech power core to be.
Nope.
Will it even fit through the door?
Oh no, you're definitely gonna have to call somebody to help you with this. So, we'll end with this. The camera goes from where you guys are standing and out the door, and then back up, and you start to see the sprawling city of Oaza, and you see a whole bunch of T. And by the way, that Mad that was fighting you before was a TNK Mad, right? The premier clan of Oaza, right? It is the clan, like the most influential clan. And you see a whole bunch of lights. There are people on motorcycles. There are Mads transports, and they are all coming your way. And then fade to black.
Oh boy.
Oh snap!
So that happened. There.
That was cool.
All right. So I'm gonna stop the broadcast now, and give me just a second. And thank you guys for watching. I think we got 2 viewers. I don't know if that's you guys or not, but we'll see you next time.